Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday. Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to talk about movies and television. But this week, we're going to do the movies that came out first, and then were adapted to TV shows. This was a very difficult subject to do, and many of my guests didn't have as many of these than they had for the opposite, which we will do next week. But for this week, I'm going to have to go through my list, which is very limited because for some reason, if I've already seen the movie or the television show first, I would then go watch the movie. I'm not a huge TV person, so some of these picks I'm going to be talking out of school, so I'll run through them quickly because I'll let the people that really know what they're talking about talk about that next. So I'm just the host, folks. That's all I do is put this stuff together. All right, let's get into my list right now. All right, my first pick, of course, it's got to be the number one, and that is MASH. MASH originally came out as a novel first, and then Robert Altman directed the film in 1970, and I love the film. The film itself is brilliant. Donald Sutherland, Elliot Gould, the football scene at the end, it's so good. It is absolutely brilliant, and Brian Provenzal talks more about this, and also Enrica talks more about this. But the TV show, I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, or the 70s, MASH was the staple for television before you could record everything. The finale of MASH was the most watched television program ever. That one finale back in 1983. So it goes without saying MASH has to be on the list. The other one where I've actually seen both, and I like both, is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Brian Provenzali will get more into how good the TV show is. But movie-wise, I always enjoyed the movie with Christy Swanson and Luke Perry. Luke Perry was kind of at his, I wouldn't say peak, but he was riding high off his 90210 fame playing Dylan McKay. And, you have some great cameos. Also, Donald Sutherland, again, is in this movie, too. There's a theme. He's in MASH and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Paul Reubens, who's best known as Pee Wee Herman, is great as the kind of the lackey villain, but the TV show itself is really well done, and most say better than the movie. So I kind of see them as separate entities, and I lean more towards the movie just because I've watched that more, and also I like the soundtrack because you have Ozzy Osbourne on there doing a great cover. That's not a cover, but a song called "Party with the Animals." And Pantera's on there, I believe, with Rob Halford. So, yeah, I always enjoyed that. So the next few, I'm just going to run through quickly because I enjoy the movie and I know there's a TV show for it. Clueless is worth pointing out because some of the, like Stacey Dash was in both the movie and the TV show, and often that does not happen. So that was kind of interesting. Of course, the common one would be Fargo. To be honest, I haven't seen the TV show yet, but I've only heard good things, especially from Lindley about the first couple seasons. The movie itself is brilliant, so I felt it deserved to be on the list. This one's kind of funny, but I remember watching it as a kid. So the Ghostbusters TV show was actually a cartoon, but I remember loving it because I adored the movie. Now, the cartoon is nothing to write home about, and it's kind of a cheat because, well, I didn't really specify if this had to be TV or cartoons or not, but yeah, it was definitely worth putting on the list. Here's one I haven't seen, much like Fargo, but I adored the movie, and that's Teen Wolf, but I guess the newer generation enjoys the MTV program. I haven't seen it yet. Lethal Weapon, I've seen a few of the new FX program, and it's not bad, but it's tough to top what they did with the original movies. I think a common theme here is if you wait long enough between the movie when it first came out, I think that's a better shot to have some success because people forget about it. We'll talk about that more in our episode with movies that started as TV shows. I think there's a lot of good examples where you could have a movie or a TV show that came out in the 60s and then you can do the movie about 30 years later. I'm thinking about The Fugitive, and you can have multiple success, and people that grew up in the 90s will only know The Fugitive as a movie. Most of them don't realize that it was a TV program first. I think that's when it works the best. All right, a few other ones. Parenthood. Danielle will talk more about Parenthood, but I love the movie, and to be honest, I haven't seen the TV show, but Danielle talks about that. And Weird Science, this is one where they didn't wait long enough. Weird Science is a brilliant John Hughes movie, and then they also made a TV program that was kind of campy and didn't do that well. And then lastly, I think one of the more successful ones that started as a movie is Friday Night Lights. They really don't have much to do with each other, but the movie itself was brilliant, and people really enjoy the TV program. So I think those are all worth putting on the list. I have many more picks for TV to movie as opposed to movie to TV. So that's all I got for today. So this is probably disappointing, but I'll tell you who is not disappointing. Our guests. Our guests do their research. Our guests are really good. And so let's get into that right now. All right, we're back with Malin. Welcome back, Malin.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Brian.
So for this week, we're going to have a little fun, and we're going to do a topic that we've talked about. We've kind of teased it for a while, but we're going to do our favorite movies that then became TV shows. So they had to start as a movie first. And as we have discovered, there aren't as many as we thought. So this should be very interesting. So what did you end up coming up with?
Yeah, I struggled with this one. I came up with one really definite favorite, and then I have another one that I'm not so sure about. I can't remember the history very clearly on it. So I'll start with that one.
Okay.
Because it may end up not even counting.
Okay.
So, you know, there are a lot of British anthology horror films that I like a lot. I think they started with like the Hammer Studios, and Amicus did some. They star like Peter Cushing and a lot of my favorite British horror actors. In the United States, there was Tales from the Crypt. Now, my understanding is Tales from the Crypt. No, not Tales from the Crypt. Sorry, that's something else. Tales from the Dark Side.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember this correctly. Now, I think that Tales from the Dark Side was supposed to be an extension from the movie Creepshow. It's one way or the other. They're related, and I could be totally wrong about this. But I think, and any horror hounds or gore fiends out there can double check me on this, but I think what happened was there was Creepshow, there was Creepshow 2, then they wanted to do a Creepshow 3, they ended up not, and what they ended up doing instead was Tales from the Dark Side. So I think Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is technically Creepshow 3, and that Tales from the Dark Side, the series, fits in there somewhere in between. I'm just not totally confident how. But anyway.
Okay, so you're totally correct. So I'm looking this up, and according to Wikipedia, which is, of course, is always correct.
The Bible.
Yeah. According to them.
If it's...
Yeah, no, but according to them, the moderate success of Creepshow led to initial inquiries about the possibility of a Creepshow series. But because Warner Brothers owned certain aspects of Creepshow, which produced the film, they decided to call it something different, and that's why they called it Tales from the Dark Side. So you're totally correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm so glad that Wikipedia supports me.
That's right.
I mean, it could have been me who went in and edited that a long time ago. So I don't know.
The beauty.
Yeah. So anyway, Creepshow is just such a fantastically campy, creepy horror anthology. I just think it's a great kind of Halloween view. And Tales from the Dark Side used to always creep me out. I didn't realize what the connection was when I used to watch Tales from the Dark Side as a kid, but I would stay up late to watch like Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, and another one, well, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and another one that I can't remember, The Outer Limit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Tales from the Dark Side, the beginning credits used to always creep me out. I would be the only one awake, and I was usually watching it on this little tiny black and white TV that I was allowed to keep in my room, but I wasn't supposed to be up after 11. So anyway, it was all like clandestine, and and I thought that was great. So what are we talking about? We're talking about movies that turn into TV shows? Yeah.
So you love Creepshow.
Yeah, so Creepshow to Tales from the Dark Side, and then back to the movies again with Tales from the Dark Side.
That's right.
The movie.
That's a good point. Okay, so Creepshow is one of your picks, and then what was the other pick?
Oh, so the other one that I immediately knew, and I won't be surprised if some other people pick this, Fargo.
Yeah, absolutely.
The movie that then inspired a TV series that is, if not its equal, it's just a fantastic series. Almost everything about it, except the one thing that bugs me a little bit is that the accents go in and out, so you can kind of tell where the performers are struggling a little bit. Ewan McGregor went kind of in and out of a few different accents in the most recent season. It wasn't just him. It's been kind of a hit and miss along the way, and that can be distracting.
Sure.
But the story development and the way that they've expanded from the Coen Brothers film, but at the same time staying true to the tone of it and the humor of it and the darkness of it. It's been all kinds of fantastic. I'm sorry to hear the third series is likely to be the last one.
Really?
The creative, I guess the showrunner expressed following the third series that they either weren't going to do a fourth series or there'd be a long break in between to give them an opportunity to do some other stuff.
Okay. So I definitely have Fargo on my list, but it's more like by word of mouth because I haven't seen much of the series yet, but I'm really looking forward to catching up with it. But I absolutely adore the movie. And as you mentioned with the accents, that's why Frances McDormand is so good in it because, I mean, you totally believe she is from, that area. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, everything about her in that film is, believe it or not, because people talk about the accents as being outlandish, but everything about her performance in that is pretty understated and spot on and believable. She really anchors all of the craziness that happens around her in that film.
Mm-hmm. But you definitely mirror the opinion with the TV show to Lindley, who says in the first season or the first couple seasons are amazing, and then it's been tailing off for her lately. So yeah.
Yeah, and I wish I could think of any others. I'm in a disadvantage here because I don't have a history of watching too much TV.
Yeah, this was a really hard one.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear it's not just me, though.
No, I think the all-time most notable one would have to be MASH, because the movie's a classic, and it's really dark and completely different than what it turned into the TV show. But the TV show was such a hit that I would say that's the most well-known, I would say, of them all.
And, I've never seen MASH, the motion picture.
Oh, okay.
I think I may have seen like the first half hour when it was on broadcast TV, like back in the 80s at some point. Was that movie produced in the 70s, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it was 1970, and so, kind of the end of the 60s, going into the 70s, and it's really dark, and, it's in the height of the Vietnam War also, which that's what it was supposed to take place then, and then it turned into, they had to make it the Korean War because it was too fresh. But you get to hear what the actual theme song. There's actually lyrics to the theme song, and
it's like suicide is
painless.
It's painless.
Yeah, and so if you watch the movie, I won't give it away because you should see the movie. It's funny because it syncs up to what it means in the movie. So there is a dentist named Painless, and so you can go from there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll have to see it. That's been something. I'll have to see it.
Okay.
I couldn't think of any others, so
that's okay.
I'm hoping that other people came up with some good stuff, and I'll find out when I get to listen to it.
That's right. But you came up with two really good ones, and of course, I don't think anybody has picked Creepshow yet, so that's a great one.
Oh, I love Creepshow.
Yeah.
Creepshow's fun.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Malin.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we're back with your favorite 80s music fan, and that'd be Brian Provenzal.
That would be me, yeah. All right.
So welcome back.
Thanks.
So
Happy New Year.
Yeah, and you took a couple weeks off, so you didn't want to do documentaries or the other one.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a lot. I mean, I've still had to listen to that episode.
Yes.
That's okay. Anyone, but I had to download that. I haven't listened yet.
Okay.
I couldn't think of any documentaries, and the city ones.
It was a niche thing,
yeah. But I don't know. Anyway,
this is another kind of fun one that we've been teasing for a while, and the one we're going to start with is actually the hardest, and that is, what is your favorite movie that eventually became a TV show. So it had to start as a movie first, and not many of us had that many. So,
I had only a few that were definites. I had a couple others I thought of, and then a lot that I just thought of that were crappy. So
yeah, which we can talk about too. But yeah.
But for the most, like there was a Ferris Bueller one. I don't know if you remember that, but I think it was in the early '90s. Even it was like way after the movie came out.
Yeah,
they made a Ferris Bueller.
Was that on Fox?
It might have been.
Yeah,
there was that Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was a total
ripoff
of Ferris Bueller, and that was more popular and actually better, I guess, for a season. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I don't know. So I thought, there's a lot of, and there were a lot of animated series that came off of movies, and I thought, some of those are good, but they're not really worth talking about.
Like Ghostbusters.
And there were other, like Beetlejuice. I remember watching the Beetlejuice cartoon, but they're not really like favorites, and they're just kind of, it's like, let's take the theme and just make it a cartoon show for kids now. That's fine, but it wasn't like memorable stuff to me.
No.
But I do have a list of 3.
Okay.
And I'll start with probably my favorite of the 3, which would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Definitely on my list, yeah.
The movie is more, I would say, much more of a cult classic kind of movie. Not super great, but kind of cheesy, funny.
Okay.
I like the cast in it a lot. I thought Christy Swanson was good as Buffy.
Yeah.
Good cheerleader type.
And Luke Perry, who of course was Dylan on Beverly Hills 90210.
Was that before or after? Or
I want to say
during the era?
It's during the era, because I think Buffy came out in 92.
Yeah.
And 90210 was 90. So so it's like kind of he's getting up there in fame. So
for me that the cast really did it. Donald Sutherland plays her vampire slaying mentor. And there's Rutger Hauer as the main bad guy. He was always a good main bad guy. Blade Runner and some other movies he was probably in. And Paul Rubens.
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman.
Paul Rubens does a weird vampire. I like.
He's got a great
really
scene
funny.
where he's just like,
his death scene is just the best.
Yeah,
he just won't die.
Yes,
the biggest hammed up death scene.
Oh yeah, but it's great.
Yeah, it's great.
So, do you prefer the movie or the TV show?
The TV show.
Okay,
and it's a lot different. I mean, it was Joss Whedon created the character, and then they developed it into a movie that it wasn't really like his true vision of what the character was supposed to be. So he got it made as a TV show, and it was totally different. And it's one of my favorite TV shows of all time.
Really well done.
It had a lot of it's great. It started out as more of a conventional teen drama with like the horror elements, and then they got into some deeper stuff as it went along.
Yeah,
it just was like a really fascinating, drama that matured. The characters matured over time.
Yeah,
it was good.
And did they have spin-offs from that? I want to say.
Yeah, there was one spin-off called Angel.
Yes.
The Buffy's vampire boyfriend.
Right. What was his? He ended up being on Bones, right?
Yeah, David Boreanaz.
That's right.
Yeah. He was good. I thought of him as sort of a latter-day William Shatner. I don't know why. I just felt like he was like a similar type of actor.
Yeah.
Not some kind of like somewhat tongue-in-cheek in his role. So Anyway, so Buffy is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and I don't necessarily think of it in the same vein as the movie. It's just that I happen to like both.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the movie suffers from the TV show that followed it, and vice versa.
Right.
Like they're both their own thing.
You can watch it and be happy with the one. Yeah. Good pick.
All right. Next is the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which
I forgot all about this.
Did not last very long as far as I knew, but I loved it when it was out. And I guess it was probably just too expensive to make, or something that maybe wasn't popular enough. I remember it moving around in different time slots because they couldn't find an audience. I guess.
What year did that come out?
Well, it had to be after The Last Crusade because it was kind of based on the River Phoenix Indiana Jones.
Yes.
But then they had like that area Indiana Jones, and then they had some other chronicles where he was even younger, like like an 8-year-old or something like that.
Yeah, which is we've already talked about this with Star Wars. Don't get into the childhood.
Yeah, I mean some of the episodes were good, but the ones where he was a teenager were better.
Absolutely.
There's more range of what a teen can do. Otherwise, it becomes more like a kid show.
Yeah.
So maybe that was part of the reason it wasn't as popular. But I don't know. I just love Indiana Jones, the trilogy in general, and the spin-off, the TV show was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was one. I mean, I don't know. I think about it now. It's probably like it was trying to be educational. I think maybe it couldn't find the right audience because it wasn't like you had to both like the adventure aspect and kind of like the educational, and they did like a sort of they try to have a moral in it a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe that's why it wasn't popular. But I definitely would have liked to have seen more. And I kept hearing rumors that they were going to bring it back, and they never did. Anyway.
You're right about that. There's certain TV shows you wonder how, if they'd given up on Seinfeld early, that would have been it. But it really took off, I think, in the third or fourth season.
Yeah, so, I mean, I remember watching it in the beginning, and it was like, you guys gotta watch Seinfeld. Seinfeld's great. And people, like, that show is weird. I don't know. And then it was like the biggest show on TV after a while.
That's right. And now, if it came out now, it would have never survived.
Because
if it doesn't immediately hit,
it's too hard.
So what's your final pick?
My final pick is MASH.
Absolutely. That's the number one.
And this, I didn't really even know for the longest time that it was based on a movie.
Okay.
There was a spin-off for it. I guess it was originally a book. Yeah. And then the TV series I watched in syndication all the time. It wasn't like a huge favorite, but I did like it a lot. I mean, Alan Alda is great as Hawkeye, and all the funny characters. Hot Lips Houlihan.
Yes, exactly.
Major Burns, and all, Colonel Potter, Radar, all those guys. So, and I always liked with MASH because it was funny, and they had the dramatic moments a lot too. It's definitely more of a comedy, which was good, and like it kept. It would come down to a dramatic point every once in a while, so it was grounded in reality.
And one of the most watched finales in the history of TV.
And I can't even remember it that well.
It was 83, I think.
I remember watching that, but I mostly watched the show in syndication.
Me too.
I didn't keep up with it as it was new.
Yeah.
And there was After MASH.
Of course.
I don't remember much. And I guess Trapper John MD. I didn't watch either of those.
No, I didn't either.
Of the spin-off.
Though I definitely remember Trapper John, hearing about it a lot. So
yeah. I think people like that character a lot, but then.
So when did you have you actually seen the?
I have it at home. It's one of those things where I think I rented it once. I'm like, oh my god, this movie's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And I went out and bought it after that.
Yeah,
it's really good. And I mean the cast. And that's great, amazing.
Yeah.
And really cool.
And one of my favorite scenes is the football scene.
I mean that's a great. Williamson. It's kind of an odd ending to the whole movie.
It is.
But it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another movie I don't know. I mean, it's Robert Altman, so maybe he could have gotten that movie made again today. But I don't know that you would see something like that nowadays.
Very dark and
very dark humor. For like a big Hollywood movie.
And those that know the MASH theme but don't know that there's lyrics and a story behind it, it's hilarious. It's great. It's hilarious. But if you say that, they're like, "How is that funny?" Well, you got to watch the movie. That's why it's funny.
But again, that had some drama in it too. It's like it kept it grounded, but at the same time, it was kind of a madcap comedy. In some ways.
But like you said, Donald Sutherland and Elliot Gould
Robert
Duvall and Sally Kirkland? Is this
that's her name.
Kellerman? Kellerman, yes,
And who else?
Fred Williamson played the football player.
And then Radar was the same guy who was in the TV show.
Yes, that's a good
Father
point.
Mulcahy was someone different. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but most of the cast is really
on there.
Good.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, for sure.
And they, as I talked to this with Malin too. They wanted it to be the Vietnam War, but it was in the height. It was actually during the Vietnam War.
I think they probably they just use it as a metaphor. I mean, it's a Korean War. And hey, maybe we'll have another one.
That's right.
Just to finish that off.
There you go. And nobody talks about Korea, so you talk about MASH, and that's about it. So
so anyway, that's my list.
Okay.
I couldn't think of much more on that because it was just like I said, there was too many a lot of generic cartoon shows that were made after movies like Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, things like that. So.
But they're worth mentioning just to get them out there.
Cool.
Cool. Well, thank you, Brian.
No problem.
All right, we're back with Samantha. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So this is going to be a fun one, but the most difficult one that we're going to do. And this is movies that started. They were movies first, and then they had a TV show adapted after the movie came out. And what we found is there are very few that we like or that we remember.
Exactly.
So I'm curious to hear what you came up with.
Not only is it hard, but I think the quality level is low.
Yes, definitely.
My dear friend Wikipedia, of course, have an article about all of these, and I'm sure they've missed some. And then what I'm going to talk about, it's kind of a cheat.
Okay.
But it kind of counts. I was scrolling through the list, and it's a lot of trash. And then a lot of, there's a lot of TV shows where, we had the TV shows, and then 10 years later, let's make a movie that's not good, like The Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
The movies are cute, but it's they were nothing special.
No.
So, I don't know. It's hard. And then I'm not, super attached to really any of them.
Okay.
But I think the one that I was like really excited for, but I'm kind of disappointed with is Fargo.
Okay.
Has someone talked about it?
No, nobody's actually. Malin did mention it.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure Lindley will if we get to interview her. But I still haven't seen any of the shows yet.
Okay.
So what I've heard is the first season was good, and then after that, it's been tailing.
It's like personal preference because so movie's great. Like I love the movie, it's so funny. I love the setting and everything about it's awesome. And then I was so excited when that movie was coming or the TV show was coming out because the creators were involved and the look is the same. And watching it's a good show. Yeah. Like the first season, you're following kind of a really horrible criminal, and then this other guy gets involved, and he's really dumb. Like kind of the theme throughout the show is the people are very dumb.
Just kind of like the movie.
Yeah, and they just end up getting in these situations, and instead of coming up with a way to fix them or getting the police involved or just being rational people, they're just bumbling idiots. So I really wanted to like the show, and I watched the whole first and second season, but I just hated the characters so much that I don't think I could watch the show again. Just the first season has what's his name? But okay, so Billy Bob Thornton is in the first season and I just don't care for him. He bothers me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
And he plays the criminal, and he does a great job with it. But he's just skeezy.
He is. He's always a bad Santa.
He plays a gross, mean person, and I just couldn't get behind it. But the second season is pretty funny. It has Kirsten Dunst is in it, and her husband. In the show, who she's actually having a baby with and getting married to in real life. Oh. It was like a meet in the meet on the show. Then they fall in love in real life situation. Yeah, they play the kind of idiots who get involved with. Oh gosh, I can't even remember the plot at this point. But yeah, they end up killing someone. Oh yeah, she hit someone with a car, and then it's like this whole cover up.
Okay.
So. Yeah, it's a fun show, but I don't think...
So you're definitely leaning... The movie is way better than the show for you.
For my personal preferences. I like the movie. It's shorter. You get enough of those characters. I think drawn out, it was just too much for my patience. Right. And yeah, totally like the movie better. Okay. I tried watching the third season because I liked the characters again, but... I'll probably go back to it when I need like a show to watch and focus on.
Sure. But right now, there's so much other stuff to focus on. Yeah.
And it's kind of like a slower show, and there's a lot going on, and and they're suspenseful in a way, but not too much. So I'll probably get around to it eventually.
Okay.
But
that's a good pick,
and then mixed feelings.
that's a common pick too. So that's a good one.
Yeah, and. What else? That was the immediate first one that came to mind, I think, because it came out relatively recently, the show.
And it's hard to pick ones that we've seen both, and that's what we've fallen into.
Yeah. And then, there's just so many, like, awful, like, cartoon ones.
Yeah, that's what Brian was saying, too.
Pokemon, the movie. Yeah. I saw that when it came out. I was the only one in the theater, actually.
Oh, really?
With my friend.
Oh, you and Pikachu.
Hannibal, the TV series.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair.
I always thought of Hannibal as being Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
I really like that movie.
I do too.
So I'm that type of person. I know there's the book series, but the show is kind of based on just parts of the book.
Okay.
And then in my mind, when the show came out, I was like, oh, cool. It's like Silence of the Lambs, but a TV show, but not really. Just.
I think that's fair because, I mean, if you pick Bates Motel, I think that's fair to, you could do, based on Psycho. So, I think that's totally fair.
So it's like, it's inspired. It's in the oeuvre. Whatever you want to call it.
Because if you pick MASH actually started as a book first, then became a movie, then the TV show. So same thing.
If we get that picky, it could just get too complicated. Like, what is an original movie?
But you're the first to pick Hannibal, so that's good.
But Hannibal, I tell everyone, I think this is one of my favorite shows of all time. It was underappreciated, and it's different than Silence of the Lambs is your typical like thriller show that Hannibal's in prison at that time and he is helping find or whatever he's
to find Buffalo Bill. Basically.
Kind of helping, but he's just being annoying.
He's really just there to kind of torment,
antagonize,
Clarice. Yeah.
So, but yeah, the movie is your like typical like thriller. Murder mystery type thing, whereas the show, it's mostly a prequel, so you see Hannibal when he's younger. He hasn't gone to prison yet.
Okay.
So he's in kind of like the height of his life. He's still acting as the psychiatrist, not psychologist.
Yeah.
So he's being a psychiatrist, and it's about he is doing these crimes, and the FBI guy is trying to solve these crimes, and he kind of becomes friends with Hannibal in the process. He doesn't know that Hannibal is the one doing it. So
what network was this on?
It was on NBC.
Okay.
And I think now it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
You can watch it. And I don't remember, because it went on for a few seasons, and I can't really remember the setup exactly. But they're trying to figure out these killers, and it's all about like profiling, and of course the FBI lead who's solving this, he has his own like emotional and psychological problems and gets too involved.
Sounds just like Mindhunter.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but Hannibal you can see as the series progresses, he gets more and more kind of cruel,
right?
And there's a lot of fun like twists and turns.
How many seasons did it go for?
3.
Okay, I need to check it out.
3 or 4.
Okay.
3 seasons. Yeah, I think you would really enjoy it. My favorite part, oddly, is sounds really disgusting, but so the show was created by Brian Fuller, and he's done like Pushing Daisies and like his most recent show, I haven't seen it. It's American Gods, but he has a very artistic way of filming things. He uses lots of color and really cool cinematography. So the fun thing about Hannibal, the TV show, which I liked more than the movie, is it almost looks like a painting, a lot of the shots. And like grossly enough, it's the scenes where Hannibal has cooked a meal.
Yes.
So one of the like running kind of dark jokes of the show is Hannibal kills something and then he creates this really elaborate dinner or meal and then he feeds it to someone.
Right.
And they're filmed and photographed like a beautiful work of art.
Right. Like a cooking show almost.
Yeah.
Culinary
and
delight.
He's like, he should be working in like a Michelin star restaurant. And so it's funny.
Yes.
But not up to everyone's. Not everyone.
You and I are right aligned on this one, so I think that'd be fun.
So yeah, I really liked how the show, it's inspired by, prequel to the movie.
Yeah.
Like if you're fans of both, they kind of tie in, of course, because they're based on the books.
Sure.
But this is cool because it has that kind of prequel thing.
So if you had to pick a favorite, are you going with the movie or the TV show?
Oh, they're so different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I do like the TV show more.
A little bit better.
Yeah, it's a little zanier. But yeah, and then there were those other Hannibal movies that came out previously, which weren't as good.
No.
So yeah, I think definitely this TV show.
Okay.
More.
And then were there any other ones? Those are the two main.
I'm gonna focus on those two so I don't get confused.
That sounds good. Okay, thank you so much, Samantha. Okay, we're back with everyone's favorite guest, Danielle.
That's nice.
Well, the people that I talk to, you're one of their favorites.
Oh.
So this week we're going to do your favorite movies that turned into a TV show.
Yeah.
So they were a movie first, then a TV
Oh, is
show.
that? I think.
Oh, don't do this to me. We spent 2 hours going back and forth like an Abbott and Costello
I was
routine.
so confused.
Okay, so you said you came up with 6.
No, 5.5.
5 and oh, here we go again. 5.5.
We can, Miss and Melo, we can do it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Malin, you guys are.
We have a way to do it.
You have carte blanche. You can do whatever you like.
Okay, so let's go through your list. What do you want to start with?
Okay, so number 5.
Not 5.5.
5.5, and this is going to be too hard to go.
So we'll just do number 5.
It is The Dead Zone.
The Dead Zone. So I don't know this
Yes,
one.
it's a movie from 1983, and is like the guy, he has an accident, I don't know, and he goes into coma.
Okay.
And when he wakes up, he realized, like, when he touches someone or objects, he can see, like, the past or what happened with that person, or I think the future too.
Okay.
And then
You've told me about this with Christopher Walken.
I don't know. I don't know that.
He's a famous actor.
So the series is like, it ran from 2000 to 2006. It was the same idea, of course. Like the guy, he would, and then he would work like as a police investigator. So that was how the series would go through, all the investigations.
Okay.
It was cool.
So you did like the TV show. Which one do you like better, the movie or the TV show?
The TV show.
Okay.
Because I didn't know it was a movie before.
Okay. That makes sense.
So watching the TV show, I didn't watch the movie, but I think I was already like hooked on the TV show, so I didn't like it.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's like with most things. Whatever you see first, you go with. Yes. Number 4.
Number 4. So, well, it's Parenthood.
Oh yeah, I have that on my list.
Yeah. Oh no way!
Yeah.
Oh, you're copying my list.
No, I had it on the list.
Did you already send here? No.
Yes. Jeez, it's my podcast.
We'll see about it.
I definitely enjoyed that because I've barely seen the TV show, and that's why I don't have it high on my list.
Okay,
but
so
I love the movie.
So the movie is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like Stephen Martin, I really like.
Yes.
But I like the TV show better.
Really?
I watched all the episodes and everything.
Is it? It's over though now, right?
It is. Something fell on my head.
Oh boy.
So yes. So the director of the movie was an executive producer for the
TV
series.
show.
Yes, and that was the idea. Like, how was the parenting 20 years later? So that's why they did the TV show. So it was super cool. But they had more stuff from the movie. It was more deep, actually. It was not a comedy, like, the movie was kind of comedy.
So it had dark moments.
Yes. But the Parenthood, the TV show was it was a drama. It had like funny moments, but it was more, they talked about breast cancer and asparagus.
Asperger's?
Yes. So all these was like showing like unemployment and a lot of drugs and etc. So I liked the TV show. I really did.
So the thing I liked about the movie was, Keanu Reeves is actually perfect in that role because he plays the dorky teenager, and his girlfriend Martha Plimpton's really good. But then you also get a very young Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't remember him.
He's the little boy that's addicted to porn.
He was the one. I don't know.
He's the one that's sneaking the trash
bag. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah.
So good.
There you go. Two good ones. Number 3.
So number 3 is The Exorcist.
The Exorcist.
Yes.
You can't possibly like the TV show more than the movie.
No, I like the movie
the
more.
Best.
But I like Gina Davis, so she's.
So when did the TV program come out?
Really? 2016.
Okay. See, you do your research.
Yes. So I like Gina Davis. It's the same girl from the same 12 years old from the movie.
Linda Blair.
Yes. No, it's not. Not the real
character.
actor. Yes.
Come on.
So hard. Let me see. Oh, Reagan. I don't know her name was. So now it's like Gina Davis playing.
Got
her,
it.
And she has 2 daughters, and one gets possessed by the same demon. So, but the thing is, they don't want to attach too much to the movie, but they do. There's no way. Like they have the same central. Yes, and even like the priest is the
priest.
Yes, because it's 2 in the movie, right? And then they have the same 2. One is that one that doesn't believe it too much, and so you have the same play almost. But of course, the movie is the best. The one because they did like a franchise. They
Yes.
did 1, 2, 3, and they kept going.
Yeah, they got horrible.
But the
after
first one, yes, is pretty good.
Okay. So then we're at number
Whatever.
2?
No idea.
Your list. I think we're at number 2.
I know. No, number 3. Come on.
That was number 3.
You read number 2. That's
Yeah, jeez.
You wanna end that
I
fast?
do not. That's
Don't start looking the clock.
I never look at the clock. I look at the levels.
So rude. So
Number 2.
So number 2, it is Psycho and Bates
I knew
Motel.
you'd pick that one.
Of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
I really like the series. I know I'm not comparing. I know Psycho
Mhm.
is amazing, etc. I really like it, but I like the mom, the Norma.
Norman,
Bates.
yeah.
The actress.
Mhm.
She was so good on doing,
Yeah.
being the mom of, his mom.
Mhm.
So I was like, I like the series more because
I need to watch the series. That's why I didn't put it on my list. I haven't seen the series.
Really,
So, yeah.
at the beginning, it's kind of they wanna copy.
Mhm.
That doesn't make sense because you're gonna compare with the movie, but you cannot compare because the series is like prior everything.
Sure.
So don't compare. Just watch
It's like
it.
it's a prequel
Yeah,
to what the movie
he's
would
a
be.
teenager.
Okay.
Like he's a teenager, and it's when he started like developing
Right.
everything, like
And how his mother affected him and everything.
Yes, it's odd. Oh my God, I have a son.
Wow. Is the show still on?
No.
It's
It
over.
ended 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, last year. But I watched everything, all the episodes,
Yeah.
and I really liked it.
Okay. Then I'll need to check it out.
Yes, it is really good.
Mhm.
It is really good. So,
And number 1.
woo, this is in yours. As I rip the post-it.
You should see what she does with her list, folks. Like, everything is handmade. She has Post-its, and then she tears it
Yes.
up when she's done.
It's handmade, and I cannot
They can't read it either. Yes. It's all good.
So my number 1, it is you're looking like a big guy, so curious.
Well, let's keep the suspense going.
Hannibal.
Yeah,
No one.
Samantha picked it.
Samantha.
Good.
So,
Well, you great minds think alike.
so Hannibal was my favorite.
Mhm.
I'm not comparing
To the movie.
with not even the movie. It will
The book?
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not comparing with this younger
Mhm.
Hannibal, but it is so well done. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the actor, if you close your eyes to the movie, he portrays so well. Like, oh God, he's so cold, and like in the movie he's younger than in the
He's
series
older.
he's younger,
Yeah.
right? So he has all that class that shows in the movie, that way he's charming, he's really charming, like all the women
Sure.
the series like him, and
And he's a psychiatrist.
he's a I cannot say this one.
He's a
But that is
Yeah.
he is this.
Yeah.
What is that? And he works with this police profiler,
Profiler.
yes.
Mhm.
So this guy actually he goes in the crime scene and he puts himself. It's amazing. Like the series has this too. Like there's this catch sentence. Like this is my profile. Like it was catch. Every episode he does that
Mhm.
because he closes his eyes and then he imagines himself doing the killing. What happened?
Right.
So then he knows what happened,
Mhm.
So he goes crazy too because, of course, you're like identifying yourself with
Right.
a serial killer, and then Hannibal goes insane about him because that is so interesting,
Yeah.
the connection. So the whole series, I like it, but the thing was, it got canceled
Mhm.
because there were some leaks about what was happening.
Ah.
So they had. I think the last season had a few episodes. I remember that.
Okay.
And they are talking about bringing it back.
Really?
I don't know how because I don't know. There's no
Where
way
they go
back
from.
the way that they ended. But yes, it was really good.
But we see a theme here with all your picks. They're all scary. Most of them are scary.
Of course, see,
Yeah, yeah.
like a pattern.
So what is 0.5?
Yeah. woohoo. do some like effect, boom, 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 like fireworks.
Now you're the producer of the show.
Yes.
Okay.
So
who needs sound effects when we have you?
I know.
Yeah.
So then I cannot even say the words.
Well, that's okay. Psychiatrist. It's a big word.
So my favorite, and you say it's not, but it is. I can prove it to you. It's in the internet. It's true because it's there. It is Pink Panther. Kill me now.
No, actually, you're right.
Cartoon.
You are right.
Oh,
right.
the cartoon is the.
That's actually a very good pick.
Excuse me.
I'm not. She's taking a bow, folks. I'm not disputing it at all because that's true. It was the TV show, or not TV show. It was a. The one thing I will dispute. It was a movie first.
It was a series, right? The movie is a franchise.
Yes,
There's
exactly,
many.
with Peter Sellers.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really a TV show. I don't know if it was a TV show per se.
It was
a cartoon.
I think a series cartoon. It's there.
It wasn't like in the before movies. You know, they show cartoons.
Yes,
movies.
and then it was so much famous. Everybody liked that
then
so
they
much.
Turned it into a TV show.
Yes.
I'll give it to you.
So the funny thing, I was a little girl. I remember.
Me too.
Really?
I wasn't a little girl, but I was a little kid.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah. Good to know.
Anyway, so I remember loved Pink Panther, like the cartoon.
Well, when I was a kid, that was more funny than the actual movie.
So cute. I didn't even watch the movie later. But the cartoon, I had this big, like, rubber Pink Panther.
Like a doll.
Yeah, I used to carry all the time, up and down. And I have pictures with that.
Really?
I made a necklace because I didn't want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a string on my neck.
For the doll?
Yeah, but huge, right? It was rubber, so it was not heavy, but like huge.
So you're walking around with this giant thing
around your neck. I walked around with my Pink Panther, and I really like the cartoon. It's so cute. Like when she started talking, I didn't like as much.
Okay.
But it was like the mute, like all the.
Wait, you're calling the Pink Panther a female?
Yeah, it's. Oh, shut up! Don't even start it.
I don't know. I don't know what English
is not my first language.
I don't know what he is or what it is.
It right? It's a panther, so.
Yeah, we don't know if it's boy or girl. Yeah. But if you want it to be a girl, you can be a girl.
In Brazil, you say she and he for everything, like you know. So it is.
So for this purposes, folks, the Pink Panther is female.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care.
All I know is the inspector is definitely male.
It. I really like it. It was cute. So yes, this is my top.
I'll give it to you because that's fair.
I won.
Would you win?
It's my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you win. Until next week, you may be hearing me for the last time. Thank you, Danielle. Okay, we're back with Enrico. Welcome back.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. So, for this week's episode, we're going to do your favorite movies that became TV shows.
My favorite movies that became TV shows.
That's right. And this has been difficult for a lot of people.
I imagine.
So, yeah.
Especially because if you liked the TV show.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you liked the movie.
Not at all. Not at all. So with your picks, I'm going to ask you which one you actually like better.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one that I think, I don't know if anybody has said it, is MASH.
Yeah, that's probably the number one pick for most people.
Because that's my favorite TV show of all time, probably.
And you have seen the movie.
I have seen the movie.
Okay.
I think the only actor that's in the movie
that's
Radar.
in
the TV show is Radar.
Yeah.
Gary.
Yes.
What's his last name?
I don't know, but I know exactly what it looks like.
It starts with a G. And
yeah.
His name starts with a G. Yeah, no, he's the only actor, and then he stayed all 10 seasons.
That's right.
Or 12 seasons, however many they had. There was only 3 actors, I guess, that stayed throughout the whole show.
The whole show, yeah.
And I honestly think what made the TV show so good was Alan Alda. Like, he was just amazing.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in the film. So
that's right.
I kind of think the movie was a bit of a dud.
So who played his character? Was that Donald Sutherland or Elliot Gould? I'm trying to remember.
In the original?
In the movie, yeah. I don't know which one.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
The movie was kind of a dud.
Really? You thought so?
I
love
liked the movie,
yeah.
but after falling in love with the show, the movie just feels really silly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I love the show.
So that's interesting because people have said the reverse. They thought the show was kind of
not silly, but it had more lighthearted moments. Than
the show started off really silly. I think the first 3 seasons were mostly just like playing with situational comedy.
Right.
And like testing the comedic prowess of the cast. And like there were just some episodes were just dedicated to like slapstick or dedicated to, I don't know, Alan Alda playing characters. You know, like, and then in the later years they got so serious, and then the final season was just so emotional.
That's right.
And I think you have, you know, since it lasted 12 years, it really built up to like more serious moments. And in the movie, it's serious, but it's like
also lighthearted. It's a dark comedy. I mean, that's part of the element. So
yeah. And I like that the show kind of grew over time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was one.
It really
the
matured.
Finale was the most watched finale ever. So.
Yeah, and it matured. I mean, after like Frank Burns left and Henry Blake left and made space for Colonel Potter and
you really were a fan.
You have no idea. BJ Honeycutt's my favorite character, and he came in season 7. So it's like, and then Charles Winchester. Those characters that came later, I think, really added to the show a lot. And a lot of people don't like when TV shows change, you know. But I think MASH aged really well, got better with time.
Which is hard for a show that's been there that long.
Yeah. So that was
the actor it was Gary Berghoff.
Okay, yeah. So I was close.
Yes. Okay, so MASH, that's a great pick, and that's been a common pick.
That's my number one. Yeah, I'm glad other people also liked it, because I thought I was the only person my age who watched it.
That may be true. But we're all much older, so that's why,
I spent a lot of the holiday break watching MASH.
That's awesome. Preparing for this episode.
Obviously, it was all training for this. The second one, you're going to laugh, is Frequency.
I've never even heard of this.
It came out like I think 2 years ago, maybe last year, 2017. The movie Frequency, have you heard of it?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. It's a really cheesy movie about communicating through time on a AM radio.
Okay.
A father connects with his son in the future, and they solve a murder together, and it's really fun. It's like silly and fun, but...
So Jim Caviezel and Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid is the main.
I would like this.
You would love it. Yeah. It's really fun, and it's adventurous, and really plays well with the concept of time, which I really like.
Yeah, so this came out in 2000.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I watched it so many times.
Really?
And it's funny. One of the jokes, I don't want to ruin the punchline, spoiler alert, but one of the jokes is that he communicates with his best friend through his childhood best friend. So he's like in his 30s, and on the radio he's able to get in touch with his best friend in the past. He was like a 7-year-old kid, and it's the year 2000. Right. So the main character, the older guy, is like, just want you to remember one word: Yahoo.
Oh, that's funny.
The finale, like the final scene when everybody's like back together again in the future, the childhood best friend is grown up, and he has a Mercedes Benz, and the license plate is Yahoo, because he invested in Yahoo.
That's like Forrest Gump investing in a fruit company named Apple.
Yeah,
so
I thought awesome. That was so
that
funny.
Is fun, and of the time. So what's the TV show like? So when did the
TV show came out last year.
Okay,
I think. And when I saw it, I was like, no way! It's one of my favorite little childhood movies, now a TV show. And they kind of used the same concept, but they spun it on its head a little. They had the main character from the 2000 film had a daughter, and she was now in 2017.
Okay.
And she was kind of rediscovering the old radio and discovered that it can, communicate through time, and reconnected with her, I think, grandfather. So it's still in the family, but then there's some changes they made to the original story, and she's a cop, and she's solving a murder, and she's using time travel to figure out the murderer's kind of story and how he came to become a killer.
Right.
And it was really well done. I thought it was fun.
Is it still going?
It's I think it had one season. Okay. As it should have had. I mean, you kind of run into...
Where are you going to go with this?
Yeah, exactly. I think they just wanted to ignite the excitement from the film.
Right.
And they didn't think it was going to last, but they did do a good job, I think. It was fun.
So what station was this on? Or do you remember?
FX?
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I definitely want to see the movie because it sounds like the movie is
You'll love
awesome.
the movie. If you like Dennis Quaid,
Yeah.
it's really fun. It's kind of a fun point, like the year 2000.
Yeah.
I don't know. The movie. I didn't think I was gonna like the TV show because I have such like a cult obsession with the movie, but I liked it. It was really fun and adventurous and nail biting. And
I'm glad you brought this one up because I hadn't heard of it.
Good.
So this
frequency. It's really poorly written and like almost worse acted, but like the TV show, but like the fun is still there.
It's still there. Cool.
Yeah. I also have Jessica Jones. Is, I mean, it wasn't a movie, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess.
Okay, so it's
addresses her.
So what came out? So the movie or some sort of version came out first?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the film came out first.
Okay.
Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess. And then that launched all these like Netflix spin-offs.
Okay.
Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Captain America. No. Daredevil.
Okay. Yeah, this is fair because people picked like Hannibal because Silence of the Lambs, so they picked what was that? Bates Motel for Psycho. So this is fair. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I didn't see the movie, but my husband did, and then he watched Luke Cage and Daredevil, and then was like, we should watch Jessica Jones, and it's really fun. I think they do a good job. Her character is really interesting.
Cool. And this is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if there's more. I think there's 2 seasons, but we're still watching the first season. Cool. I like her character a lot. It's fun to have.
Well, now you're gonna have to watch the movie.
I know. Now I have to go back. Like that's the funny thing. Yeah. I didn't see the movie. The other 2, I like loved the movie. Yeah. So I have 2 more, but they're like dumb.
I want to hear them. The dumber the better. Sometimes.
Land Before Time.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, there was a TV show. Yeah, that's a good point.
The TV show, I think, came second to the film.
Well, it would have to if we're playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they came out with like a few Land Before Time movies.
Okay.
Before they were like, wait, this really would do well as like a cast of characters and a TV. And then there was like a million Land Before Times. And then they finally just settled on a TV show. And I think that ran for like 6 years.
Yeah, I do remember seeing. Yeah.
I loved them. I could, as a child in my hanging out at my grandparents' house, I could turn it on at any moment and just get sucked in.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the dinosaurs.
It was ABC, right?
I don't even know. I was too young to understand the concept of networks.
If it's on, it's on. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, so, and then I have Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Of course, that was actually a main pick for me and Brian P. So yeah.
I love Buffy. Yeah. I did see the movie, but I saw the TV show first.
Most people like the show better.
I think I like the show better. I don't know. I saw the show first.
Yeah, most people.
I think it really depends on what you see first.
Yeah, I did see the movie first. I love the soundtrack. It's a lot of heavy metal, but but no, the TV show is brilliant. I mean, did a really good job.
I love that show. Yeah. I mean, really kind of the original 90s feminist.
Yeah. And it had 2 spin-offs from it, or at least 1 spin-off. It was Angel.
Angel. Yeah. So those are
those are great picks.
What were you talking about? Movies
that turned into TV shows.
No, we were talking about the TV shows that were movies, right?
We're gonna do that next.
Oh, that's next.
Thanks for giving it away.
I'm sorry.
Coming up next week.
I'm so confused. There's like, the directionality can get confusing.
Don't worry, you're not the first to have been confused by what I've done to everyone. Thank you, Enrica.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're back with super producer Winley. I went back to some old episodes. That's why I was calling you.
I know.
That was your original title.
You always introduce me as that.
Sometimes.
I think you always do.
Depends what mood I'm in.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm in a good mood.
I'll know.
We shall see. So you did some research. I'm very happy about this.
I have no memory.
And so, this is called Damn Good Movie Memories. So for this week, we're going to do a movie and TV theme. But for this week's episode, we're starting with movies that eventually turned into TV shows. And there aren't that many. So I'm curious to what you...
Oh, what I came up with?
Yeah.
Okay, well, number one on my list.
Mhm.
I am going in chronological order.
Nice.
I think for the most part. Actually, one I need to swap out. Wait a second. Hold it.
Okay.
No, you don't actually have to. I realize this is not in chronological order. The first one is Gidget.
Yes.
Which I loved watching as a kid on TV20 reruns or Saturday morning or something.
Yes.
It would air Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
This is a great one. Nobody's picked this.
Gidget?
Yeah. Because
it
the
was
original
originally
was
a
Sandra
movie.
Dee.
Yeah, and it was actually a book.
Yeah.
Initially, it is actually someone's autobiography.
For real?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
it's
know
like
that.
a surfer girl's autobiography. So I actually checked out the book a few years ago because I think I bought the DVDs of the TV show Gidget to watch with my daughter because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And I love the TV show. I don't love the movie.
So you don't like the movies?
The movie is fine. I don't know if I've ever even seen the movies. I think I've seen the movie. But
Yeah. I saw, my mom had them on VHS, and so they're
I mean,
fun.
I really loved the TV show, so
Who
that was my
played
memory.
Gidget on the TV show?
Sally Fields.
No way.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't know that. Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah.
So she was on Gidget from 1965 to 1966.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was her. Yeah, that was pretty much her very first.
I think so. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, then she went to movies, right?
So when's the last time you've seen the TV show?
Yeah. Well, I tried to watch it with my daughter a few years ago. We should try it again. And she was kind of like, this is boring. And then I actually checked out the book and read some of the book. It was It was just an interesting snapshot of Southern California
In the
beach
60s.
life of like
50s, 60s, yeah.
probably this girl was from the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the movie was then made at the end of the 50s.
Yeah.
So
Because
I
Sandra
think
Dee
it
really
maybe
was the
she
hot
really-
item back then.
Yeah. And this girl, Gidget, the real Gidget, really was a surfer girl who went out surfing as one of the only females out there surfing with, had a boyfriend who surfed or something and then started surfing. So it was a cute little teen
Was Bobby
story.
Darin in Gidget? Or I
Maybe
know
the
he was
original.
married to Sandra Dee, but
there's also different Gidgets in
That's
different
true.
movies, right?
that's true. I just know the Sandra Dee one.
Yeah.
It's original. So.
I don't know.
Okay,
Anyway,
so that's a great pick. Nobody picked that. My parents would be very happy.
that I picked
Yeah,
Gidget.
yeah.
TV20.
That's right, with the dogs.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So what is
I
your...
think most of mine are all, except for two, are all things I watched as reruns.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is Odd Couple.
Yeah, absolutely. Why did I forget that?
I
So,
love
yes.
the TV show. I think
Yeah.
I love the TV show more than the movie. Actually, I love Felix Unger.
I get that. Though the
I love
movie's
it.
great.
But I grew up
Yeah.
watching the TV show, and then watched the
movie later. I think
and
I was like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just didn't. It didn't feel right to me because I could only think of Felix Unger as I could only think of Tony Randall as Felix Unger.
Yeah, instead of Jack Lemmon and Walter
And Jack,
Matthau.
I know they are good. I love Jack Lemmon.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't love Walter Matthau. Maybe
Really?
that's who I don't
Oh.
love. Yeah,
But he's
I love
he's the
Jack
perfect
Lemmon.
Felix.
Yeah.
Because he's so disheveled.
he's the perfect
Oscar.
Oscar.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, and I'm probably telling this story wrong. My dad was actually on an airplane with Jack Klugman, and I don't know if I think he had two women with him at the same
Oh,
time.
really?
Yeah.
He really was married to Blanche
Yeah.
in real life. I think it's Brett Daniels.
I think
Jack
Brett.
Klugman
Yeah.
was married. She played his ex-wife Blanche on the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched way too much Odd Couple. I mean, I think I watched it every
Well, it's always
single
on
day.
reruns, yeah.
Every single day at like 5 o'clock,
Yep.
I would watch Odd Couple.
That's a great pick. I can't believe I forgot that because that is an awesome one. Because I
Yeah.
actually like both.
And then I rewatched it recently. It's still
It's
really
still
good.
funny,
It's
yeah.
on Hulu, so you can stream it
I
on
do.
the entire series on Hulu. It's very funny. Also, the Bachelors and how they're dating
That
these
lifestyle,
women.
yeah.
It's just very goofy.
You should rewatch the movie. It does hold up.
I probably should.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love Jack Lemmon, but
Yeah.
and he's very good as Felix, of course.
Yes.
So akin to this
Mhm.
is, I think it was in the same time slot that I would watch The Odd Couple, and then the next show, which was MASH
Of
on
course.
reruns. It was like 5 o'clock Odd Couple, 5:30 MASH, or something like that.
I
feel
think
like this was my nightly screening.
This is an ideal one. I think most people pick this. This is the obvious
MASH.
choice. Now, do you remember much of the movie?
I don't even know that I think I've seen the movie on TV.
Okay.
And again, as a kid watching it, I was annoyed that it didn't have Alan Alda. It was
Yeah.
just like, no, this is all wrong.
Only
Like, I
Radar
love-
is in both.
Oh, isn't also Margaret Houlihan? Is that not Houlihan?
No,
That's
that
not
was
Hot Lips
Sally.
Houlihan?
I would always get her name wrong. I think it's Sally Kellerman
That's
is in the movie.
Oh, she's not in the TV show.
No, that's someone else.
Oh, so Sally Kellerman is on Mark Maron's TV show as plays his mother.
Okay.
She's really, really funny.
She is. She's
really
a great
good.
actress.
She's great.
Yeah.
So when he said she's originally Margaret, I assumed it was the TV show Margaret. I couldn't tell, but
right. Yeah. No, the movie's definitely darker because of Robert Altman.
Yeah.
And you finally get the lyrics behind the MASH theme song,
right?
and it makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's good.
I know that it was a comedy, but it was actually this really horrible.
Yeah.
The TV show at least was very light, right? I mean, they had a few dramatic story shows, but I do very specifically remember watching the last episode ever
in 1983.
Yeah, and that was probably the only one I watched live. Like I watched it all on rerun, even though it was probably on TV when I was a kid, but I was not allowed to stay up past like 8 o'clock, so it was past my bedtime.
You get all the syndication things. Yeah. That makes sense.
But I definitely stayed up. It was like a special thing to stay up and watch the very last episode.
VCRs weren't even around much then.
No, we had to watch it. It was isn't it still like holds the record for the most viewed TV
live
showing or something?
Yeah.
Biggest audience or something like that.
And there were certain markets where like either the power went out or like something like the feed went out and people missed
before
part
of it.
Before
whatever happened.
Exactly. Yeah.
I just remember them smothering the chicken, but it wasn't a chicken; it was a baby.
Right.
A mother smothered her baby to keep quiet, to not be caught by the Viet Cong, or not the Viet Cong. It was in Korea.
It was supposed to be Vietnam.
It was. Yeah. Anyway, so that was like really traumatizing to me. It was like, did that really happen? Did that really happen? I like the story of the chicken.
But not that. I wonder what had better ratings. This has always been well known as MASH as the top, but I'm sure Dallas, the Who Shot JR, was up there too.
When you find out Who Shot JR, right? The first episode of the next season, because that was like the first cliffhanger. Wasn't that the first cliffhanger?
One of them. Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know that there were really end of season cliffhangers.
Not like that.
No.
Now they do it all the time, but yeah. So those are your main picks. You have other ones?
No, I have more.
Oh, good.
So the next one is Fame.
Of course.
But I also loved the movie and I loved the TV show.
Yeah.
And that one I definitely watched. I think it was on every Sunday night. I didn't watch it in rerun. I watched the actual show.
Yeah.
And then I did that play in high school.
Did you?
Fame.
You're gonna live forever.
Yeah. I was a backup. I was not one of the main characters.
The film is dark, especially like the whole Coco
getting
Trey Jolie.
Very, very today.
Yes, actually
true. Happens, right?
Very true.
Yeah.
I do remember. I think I've told the story before. There was a cocaine episode for Fame on that one.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the 80s and Jesse No. I just remember the girl being in class.
Yeah.
And then her nose starts bleeding and stripping on a thing, and it freaked me out. I'm like, I'm never doing drugs.
Yeah. That was a big scare. Like that was really the big scare tactics about any drugs, right?
Yeah, but cocaine was a big one because there was a basketball player. Drafted by the Boston Celtics, I think it was in 1985, and he OD'd the night after he got drafted.
On cocaine?
On cocaine.
Do you OD on cocaine?
He had a heart condition,
OD on cocaine.
and he didn't know it, and then he did too much coke, and
because now it's all heroin. Everybody dies from heroin. I didn't know you could actually OD on cocaine.
I think you can if you have pre-existing conditions.
Got it. Well, I'm sure you can OD on anything possibly.
Yes.
Tylenol, even.
Yeah. That woman that drank too much water.
That does happen. Right? People have died from too much water. Right. Yeah, so you can OD on anything.
That's right. But I digress. And what is your other pick?
And the next one, and I only watched the first season of it, and I don't think I ever saw the movie, was Friday Night Lights.
Great movie and a great show. But I thought it was
a good TV show, and I really just watched the first season, but I loved the cast. What's the kid? The kid who then is on my next pick, who stars in the second season of my next pick, who's now married to Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
Jesse something. He's on Friday Night Lights anyway. That was his first. Jesse Plemminger? I'm probably saying it wrong. And then Amy Schumer did a hilarious... spoof on Friday Night Lights where she was the Connie. What's her name? Connie?
Jesse Plemons. You're
Jesse
right.
Plemons. Connie.
Oh, Brighton,
or something. I don't know what her name is, but it's like she's like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm tired all the time. But they show her with this gigantic wine glass. In the show, she's always like drinking a glass of white wine. So it's like this enormous like glass of white wine she's drinking. She's like, I don't know why I'm so tired.
So you never went? Are you going to go back and watch?
The movie,
or the episodes.
I know it was a book, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, Friday Night Lights.
Yeah,
I think I only watched the first season,
and that was enough. Right?
I think I had a DVR then, and then we moved, and I didn't have a DVR, so I just kind of forgot about it. I guess I could. I don't know how that. I mean, I thought I didn't know what they were going to do every season. They were going to be the underdogs, losing, and then they win in the end. like that kind of seemed like the premise of the show.
I'm surprised I didn't watch the show because I really liked the movie, but it was more.
You would probably like the first
sport-based.
season.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first season's good,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
again, that's all I can speak to.
Right.
But I think you would like it because it is football.
Yeah. I like
Anyway,
football.
that's it. And then my last one, of course, is Fargo.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I mean, which is just like the best TV show. Well, the first 2 seasons. I thought the third season was a little weak, but it stars Ewan McGregor as twin brothers.
Yeah.
No, sorry, they're not twins. They're just brothers.
Uh-huh.
One is older, one is younger. So why does the same guy have to play them? That was like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like he's getting it. That's what he left his wife for the person he's starring in the TV show with. Yeah, but it's just not as good as the first and second season is much better. So the third season of Fargo is okay.
So you prefer the movie to the TV show?
No.
Really?
I love the movie.
Uh-huh.
Love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think the first 2 seasons of the TV show is just phenomenal.
Better than the movie?
As good. At least as good. It keeps the same, what do you want to say? It's snowy and dark. It's not the exact. Feel. It's not whatever the feel of it. I'm trying to think what the term is for that. It takes place not in Fargo, but in like a small crappy town in
the Midwest.
That area. Yeah. I mean, really close to there. They talk about Fargo. It's all kind of in the same universe. Like all the things that happen.
Yeah.
All happen in the same universe. It's still kind of keeping the thing, and they kind of have the same, like a young female sheriff who's not taken seriously, or detective or whatever, police officer who's not taken seriously, who actually knows what's going on, and the rest of the people are kind of bumbling the investigation, and this person's connecting all the dots, and then anyway, so the first one takes place like in modern times. The first season, like the movie, takes place of the era, of the time of the era. That one does too, and then the second season goes back to the 70s.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like the story actually of her father.
And then what's in the third season?
The third season is modern again, not really connected to the first. The first 2 seasons have the father and daughter, or the girl who solves, the daughter woman who solves the murders in the first season. Her father is then the protagonist in the second season, and then taking place in the 70s. Yeah.
And then are they done? Like,
I think he said he wasn't. I think they said that he wasn't going to be able to do a 4th series, but maybe they would. I don't know. It's very popular, and I think TV out is better than movies these days. I think it's like much.
They're more creative.
Yeah, it's more creative. They have more time to tell a story.
Yeah. That being said, they're rebooting Roseanne, which seems ridiculous.
Okay, I'm excited about that. That's on my next discussion.
I thought Dan died.
No, but the last season was he died, but the last season was just terrible, right?
That happens a lot. I mean, there's a reason they go off the air is because usually they very rarely go out on top.
Something that she was. Like, I think she was having, like, she was just doing whatever she wanted and making it bad for some reason. That's kind of been the rumors,
she's
right?
nutty, yeah.
She is crazy, totally crazy.
But there's another Will and Grace came back, so...
I watch it every week.
And you like it as much?
No, but I like...
In general...
But that's in my next...
Okay, we'll get there.
Topic. Yeah, I will
Thank you,
I will
Whitley.
address Roseanne in the next discussion.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.
I am Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Total Alcoholic.
And we are part of the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
We are the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
That's right. And the way you can check us out is we are on iTunes and also Podbean. And we forgot a review recently. I got this review right here. It says, Rock and Metal Combat Podcast is the greatest podcast in the world, and it's my #1 podcast, signed by Science. Now, and then Science also said...
Science also said...
My second favorite podcast is It Doesn't Matter, the rest suck. Rock and Metal Combat Podcast on iTunes and Podbean. Check it out.
Science! Are you ready for the hottest new podcast out there? Check out the Vieira Vault, featuring none other than Dr. Ralph Vieira. You will hear personal stories and personal songs from the vault. There ain't nothing else like it. The one, the only, the original Vieira Vault on Podbean, Stitcher.com, and iTunes.
Spreaker.
God damn it.